Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of Is It Wrong? Is It Wrong? Hey guys, I'm your host Ray Power and my co-host Dave. And today's special guest is the guy who plays bass for a band called Symphony X. Don't know if y'all heard of them. They're a new band. I don't know. You might have heard a little bit of them. Guys, please welcome Mike Lepond. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great. Really excited to talk to you guys. We'll have a good time.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Dude, so I think I became a fan of Symphony X right around the same time you joined. That was right around 2000, right?
Yep. I joined the band in '99, and
The Odyssey.
and my first record that I recorded with Symphony X was the New Mythology Suite
Oh yeah.
5. Yeah,
Yes.
and
How
yeah,
how was
and
that?
oh boy, that was it's weird because I could give you a quick story of how I got into the band and got right on that record.
Yes.
Okay. Um, so all the guys in Symphony X and me, we all lived in New Jersey.
Uh-huh.
And so back then in the '90s, I was into, Judas Priest and Iron Maiden, and I knew what to play it all. And so I happened to always see this guy who used to hang out at this bar in New Jersey, and he was like a regular. And he was like, "Hey, man, did you ever hear of Symphony X? Because they're looking for a bass player."
Oh my
And I
gosh.
was like, "Well, I've heard of the name, but I don't really know any music." He's like, "Yeah, they got a lot going on. Let me give Michael Romeo your phone number."
Oh,
What?
I was like, "Yeah, sure." Now, back then, I had this chip on my shoulder. I thought I was all great and stuff. And
Yeah.
so Romeo calls me up and he's like, yeah, he basically tells me what they got going on, that they tour, they've got they've got 4 albums out and they're doing great. So he was like, yeah, let me send you the Divine Wings of Tragedy album and we could try you out. So I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. I'll learn it.
Man.
So I put the CD in and I'm like, what the heck is this?
Did you say, what did I get myself into? Just keep
Oh
smiling.
yeah. I'm like, I'm like, when I was listening, I was like, okay, this is like another level. This is
Oh
like
yeah.
oh yeah.
playing, and then after I was super intimidated, I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, "You're either going to do this or just put the bass down and just be a normal person and just hang out in the bars like you usually do." And
Yeah,
I
man.
decided that I was going to go for it, and I had 2 weeks. They gave me 3 songs to learn. I practiced like from the moment I got home from work till I went to bed, like crazy. And
What
then
were you
when the
doing for
day,
work at the time?
I was doing like office work, like accounts
Okay.
receivable, accounts payable, and so the day comes for the audition, and I honestly thought that I wasn't going to get it.
Really?
But I wanted to go to the audition because I wanted to tell these guys how great I thought they were. And
Yeah.
so I go down there, I meet the guys, and they were just like kind of chill, which was a little made me feel a little on edge because they were
Yeah.
just chilled out.
Yeah.
So then we start playing that song of Sins and Shadows,
Oh my gosh.
and
Oh,
so
dude, I love that song.
Yeah.
yeah, so we're playing it, and as we're playing it, I started to see that I was able to keep up with them. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I started to feel more confident, and I got through the song, and I did really well. So then we jump into another song called "The Accolade,"
Mm-hmm.
and this is before Russell even got there. So it's even harder when there's no vocalist.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So we get through that, and then we get through. I think it was Eyes of Medusa. Um, So we play the 3 songs, and then Michael Romeo summons me, and he's like, "Yeah, come here, man," and he takes a walk with me, and I'm like scared to death.
Oh
I don't know
man,
what he's
yeah.
gonna. And he starts asking me questions like, "So are you able to tour? Are you do you have time available to do this kind of stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." Um, so then Russell shows up, and then we played the 3 songs again with Russell, and then they were treating me like I was part of the band. They were just talking
Oh, that's
outside, and I was like, wow. So just when I thought I got it, they were like, you know what? We'll have you back for one more audition. I'm like,
Ah,
okay. So they sent me some songs from the album Twilight and Olympus.
oh man.
And so I do the same thing. I practice real hard. I get through the songs. And then they asked me to join.
Oh man.
And then, on my drive home, I was like crying like a baby. I was like, so just like that, I went from playing to like the bartender and his girlfriend to playing in Symphony X. And
My God. Were you feeling anything like this?
I probably could have did that dance number at that time. No problem. So it was,
That's
I felt like
great.
the movie Rockstar. It was great.
Oh yeah, man.
wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. That's
Um,
see, we got a couple
cool.
people chiming in. Was Billy Idol in the band? No, he was not. Rob, how are you, buddy? Hey, everybody joining us live again. We really appreciate you guys joining us and commenting and anything you want to ask here of the Metal Master dude, the bass player, the man, Michael.
Sure. Any
Shoot
question,
away, man.
I'm happy to answer it.
Yeah, he ain't scared. We're scared of what he might say, but he's not scared. Oh man. So let me ask you this. Silent Assassins, was that after you had already joined Symphony, or was that something you were doing prior and still doing it? Or
Well, yeah, Silent Assassins came much later. After I was in Symphony X for about 15 years, actually, I realized that I had a bunch of songs that didn't really fit Symphony X because
right.
when I, growing up, I was into just heavy metal, power metal. I wasn't really a prog guy, so I had all this material that was never getting used.
Mhm.
So I said, well, now that I have some sort of a name for myself, let me try to put like a power metal record together. And
Yeah.
so I got some, really good musicians from locally from the area, from New Jersey area. And we put together this record, and Michael Romeo recorded it for me. He played some leads on it for me.
Okay.
He programmed the drums for me, and I did 3 records with the Silent Assassins.
Oh wow.
And, it was so much fun. I had a blast, and I never really did any touring, but it did get signed to some labels, and I did have a lot of fun with it.
Wow. Let me ask you a question. This is I like doing a little game with certain people. This is a quick 2 words. You pick one. Since we're talking about metal and stuff, I'm going to give you 2, and you just pick one: Alice Cooper or Alice in Chains.
Cooper.
Cooper, yes sir. Evergreen or Evergray?
Mm.
Evergray.
Yeah, man. Michael England, what a voice, right?
Really cool voice. Yeah.
How about 9 Inch Nails or Ice Nine Kills?
Like 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah.
Close.
It's close. It's close. Industrial alternative versus metalcore, post hardcore, and yeah, very close. How about Under Oath or Unearth? You know what? I haven't even heard of Unearth. I looked them up today.
I haven't heard of any of those bands.
Really? Okay. Well, then I'm just trying to get a feel for what it is you're liking.
Yeah, I
know you're a huge Kiss fan.
Yes. Ever since my father, God rest his soul, took me to see Kiss in 1979 at Madison Square Garden in New York City.
Wow.
I've been a major fan, but my favorite kind of music is Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Manowar, Saxon. I
Oh
mean, all
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
people assume that I'm a progressive metal bass player, and I
Mhm.
love playing progressive metal,
Right.
but you know, I'm just like a normal metalhead, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Jesus, metal dude says, who was Mike's favorite bass player growing up? Did you have a favorite?
Question. Excellent question. Um, it was a guy that a lot of bass players shunned upon, but I thought he was really great. It was Joey DeMeo from Manowar.
Mm.
I loved how he played the 8-string bass, and I loved his songwriting. And he played the bass outside the box, which I really liked.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually went to school with Dave Schenkel, was a guitarist in Manowar.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was crazy. I remember a story. We were in high school. We had this common area, and he would come in there with his guitar, and I had a guitar, and we'd start singing. Not together, but I'd sing, he'd sing, and then years my band we got signed first.
Mm-hmm.
I remember running into him after high school. He's like, "Dude, you guys made it, man! I want to get signed." Yada, yada. And then he gets this gig with Manowar, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, man!" But
It's funny. I'm I'm currently involved in 2 projects with Dave.
get out of here.
One
What?
one project is called Kings of the New Kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one is called Wings of Destiny.
Oh.
Kings of the New Kingdom.
And these are albums that I just finished doing the bass for. They're not out yet, so they'll be out probably sometime this year.
Yeah, we'll talk after the podcast. You and I, we need to talk about that.
And these are going to be the first albums from these projects?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
How cool is that, man?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've gotten to know Dave really well.
He's an arpeggio king, man. He's
He's
another
fast.
Malmsteen. Ooh. Is he still wearing the headbands and all that all the time?
Yeah, man. He's just his work ethic is like on 11, man. I can't keep up with it.
Man, no
Yeah.
doubt. No doubt. It's crazy, man. I think back of, like I said, back in high school and then Manowar, they went on to do much bigger things that Sacred Warrior did, but we did a lot of great stuff.
Awesome.
But then also, man, bro, this is something you did something with Mike Frelick. The Rewrite Tomorrow album. Got a little clip here. Every time I listen to this, like I was telling you, you said you call it bass face. We call it stanky face. Man.
I'll tell you,
Yeah,
man.
see? Yeah, I saw you down there, Mike. You just kind of groove getting into
Yeah,
it.
he the interesting thing about Facebook is anybody could reach out to you, and when somebody reaches out to me, I want to know who they are,
Yeah.
So this kid reaches out to me, and he's like, yeah, I'm a guitar player, and I'd really like you to play on my stuff. And so he sends me his stuff, and man, he had such feel. I mean, he reminded me of like Steve Vai and Joe Satriani.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, man, I would love to play on your stuff. And this was I played on it probably about 5 years ago.
Wow.
And finally getting it out now. Wow. So I'm really proud of him. And I just really hope he gets more of an audience and gets out there, because he's really got something that you can't learn, man. It just flows, that feeling that flows out of your heart, man. And he makes that thing sing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he to me because that song has like so many different styles. Just in that song, you takes you through a roller coaster of emotions, man. Like the heavy stuff, then it breaks down into that. You're just like, oh man. And I
Yeah.
didn't discover that. You ready for this until yesterday? So I'm in
Yeah.
my studio working on this, and I kid you not, I played that song probably the whole song probably 8 times. And my
Oh,
wife's in her studio next to me doing some painting stuff. She's like, again.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
He's a great talent, man. And I really wish for great things to happen to him.
Yeah.
There's some gems that you discover, on the internet, and he's definitely one of them.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. Joey Boyle says, what was your take on Fate's Warning? You like Fate's Warning? Were you into them guys at all?
Yeah, I Symphony X has played with them in the past at some festivals, and we've gotten
Mhm.
to know them. And their current bass player, Joey Vera, I know very well.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I do like Fate's Warning. I've always wanted to get a tour together with like Symphony X, Fate's Warning, and Queensryche. I always wanted to do a tour
Ooh.
like that. And, we would love to do something like that. In their 80s stuff was really heavy. I really liked it a lot,
Yeah.
That's how they got on my radar. And
Yeah.
I'm glad they're still doing it, man. They're talented guys.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we just played with Queensryche last year, Sacred Warrior.
Great.
Yeah, that was really. As a matter of fact, I got Todd Latore on here. I talk about him all the time because I get such mad respect for that guy. But
He's phenomenal.
yeah, there's the story, my intro. There's some singing on the end of the intro. What is it wrong? That's Todd. It's not me. Everybody's like, "Is that you?" I'm like, "No, that's Todd, man." So yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Oh,
yeah,
man.
no, that's great. We played with Queensryche on a cruise called Cruise to the Edge,
Mhm.
and it's like a progressive rock kind of cruise. And Queensryche and Symphony X, we were kind of on the heavier end of that cruise because mostly it was prog rock, but
Right.
so we were hanging out with those guys a lot. Symphony X, and we toured with them also before Todd,
Oh, wow.
So we've gotten to know those guys really well.
Nice, nice. Dave, what does this one say after touring with
After touring with Haken and listening to Connor play, are you motivated to play a Dingwall bass?
Right. I'll tell you, man, those things sound incredible. Dingwall basses. I personally can't afford one.
Come on, guy like you.
But those basses sound absolutely incredible. Like, a lot of basses, the low B string, it's hard to hear, it's hard to make it out, the tone. But, I mean, it's crystal clear on that bass. And I would love to play one if I could ever afford it someday.
Yeah. If you get a few shows up and up for Sacred Warrior, you might be able to afford it.
You know what? Let's do that. Let's do it.
Oh man. Let's see here. Okay. I can't scroll anymore. There we go. Dude, it's like I said, man, mad respect for you, bro.
Thank you very much.
I get to meet a lot of people on this podcast and sometimes I just have to say,
we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Thank you, bro. I really appreciate that. And
yeah, man.
And I can tell you've done your homework, and there's, it's great to be on a podcast where the guy did his homework, and we can talk about so many things,
bro.
Any aspect of my career, the band, whatever, man. Anything.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: take me back. Okay, you ready for this? Your first time on stage with the guys. with the guys, and you're up there, and the crowd's probably going nuts, and you're getting ready to play. Are you like freaking out or what? Take me to that first performance, man.
Ray, it's a great story. So after I finally joined the band, and I finally record the 5 record, which was like 3 15-hour days. It was the craziest thing I've ever experienced. But I get through the record, and so then I hear, okay, Mike, we've got our first tour set up. Yeah. And the first show is going to be in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, okay, I've never been on a plane before, and I hear it's a 9.5-hour flight. So we start practicing for the tour. The plan is we're going to do South America, and then we're going to do Europe, all in one shot.
Nice.
So I'm like, okay, this is like a dream come true stuff. You know, in my head, I'm losing my mind. You know.
Yeah.
So, we get to Sao Paulo, and as soon as we get off the plane, there's people in the airport that are waiting for us, and I'm like, okay, this is like
holding up the card. Symphony X. Oh, that's great.
You know, this is stuff that you only see on TV. You know,
right?
So we do that. And the first thing we're going to get to do before the show is the guys say, okay, we're going to do a meet and greet. Now, I assume it's going to be like you're going to go to some record store and like 7 people are going to show up. And
oh, no.
So I was like, where is it? They're like, well, it's going to be at this gymnasium. Gymnasium. I'm like, oh, all right, whatever, man. So we head towards the gymnasium, and we walk in, and then all of a sudden I hear this roar, and I'm like, what is that? They're like, well, this is the people that are here. I'm like, well, how many people are here? And then I look, and there's a line out the door.
Oh yeah, man.
As it turned out, there was about 400 people that showed up to this.
My God.
And they just start coming through the line, and they were so appreciative because I'm like the new guy. No one knows me.
Yeah, of course.
They were just so nice and so sweet, and they wanted me to sign everything they had. And they're coming through, and you know, the guys are looking at me like I'm this, you know, this god or something, you know.
That's crazy.
And you know, these women, the women are walking through, beautiful women. And I was like, this is just insane, bro. You know?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So
sorry guys, I had to let the dogs out.
That's all right, buddy. Wait. You had to do what?
Let the dogs out. Let the dogs out.
I got a video clip for everything, Mike.
You're all over it, bro. You are all over it.
So they're looking at you like you're this rock god.
Right. So we get through this super long meet and greet. And then the night before the show, the promoters want to take us out to a local bar. We go to a local bar. They're mobbing us at the bar, and we're just having a great time. And then it's time for and then the plan is we're going to play 2 nights at this venue that holds 1,000 people.
Let me ask you a quick question. The bar where you hung out, was it like a huge bar or just like a little side bar or something? Or
it was like medium size. I think the bar was called Manifesto. I'm not 100% sure. Okay. So we have a great time there. Everybody's great. And so then it's the day of the show, and the people are lined up there. I mean, they're there super early, and they're screaming. When we show up in the van, they're going crazy.
Yeah.
And then we go on stage. You know, I wasn't really that nervous for some reason.
Yeah, you were. Tell the truth, man.
Maybe I was just too focused on, all right, I got to play well. So we go out there and the people are singing every single song. They're women are crying, men are crying. I'm like, is this what we do to people? And they wanted, they didn't want us to leave. We probably played about an hour and 45 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And it was just an amazing experience. And then we went to Chile.
Oh, man, yeah.
And these people were not only singing the words, they were singing the riffs.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? I know that when people know the songs, they know everything. That's as a guitar player, you can't go in there and fake. That was one of the things I was going to ask you. I've noticed on a lot of your videos, when you're playing the bass, you're looking at the drummer like, man, I got to stay locked in. You're not looking at Romeo because he's like, brr, brr, but you're looking at the drummer like, all right, I'm trying to be locked in, but people know the riffs, not just the vocals, not just the chorus. They know the
every
riffs,
note.
man. Yeah.
And that's something that I never saw in the United States. So, yeah, it was just an incredible experience. And then right from there, we went to Europe. And it was the same thing. I mean, they were just really ready to see us. And there was a huge demand for us. And we played there we were there for a month. And it was just an amazing experience. And then I just couldn't believe that I got to do this. I went from nobody to all of a sudden I'm being treated like a rock star.
Yeah, man. You were guilty by association,
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. Hey, Marsha said, ask Mike about his dogs. You got some dogs?
I got some dogs, man. I got one that's right here. Hey, Luke. Come here, Luke. Come here. Come with Daddy.
Heavy metal dogs. Oh,
You
yeah.
see Luke?
Luke.
Yeah, so Luke.
Hey, Luke.
And then I have Leia. Luke and Leia, of course.
Nice. Nice. Luke and Leia.
You don't like Star Wars at all.
I was going to say, we don't know where that came from, do we?
That's a no-brainer.
Oh, man.
Luke, you're being a good boy. You're not jumping on my lap. I'm gonna let him out because he probably wants to.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead, buddy. All right. I love my dogs. They're my life.
I got a couple questions for you from guys that texted me privately. Scott Waters, he wants to know about your time in Heathen's Rage. I've never even heard of that. What is that?
Heathen's Rage was one of those obscure bands in the 80s. How many bands were coming out? You couldn't keep up with them, Mm-hmm. Heathen's Rage was one of those bands. I joined the band in 85. I was like 19.
Wow.
And we only lasted till about 88, 85 to 80. And we were all from New Jersey, and it was like a speed metal band or power metal band. And really cool stuff. And that band was the first band that I actually was able to get vinyl with.
Wow.
So we did vinyl, and I love the music, but you know how bands go, after a while the singer wanted to leave, and that was like and he was like, the main core of the band.
Yeah,
so then we tried to find a singer, we just couldn't, and then we disbanded. But now, fast forward to 2015, like from 88 to 2015, I get a call from a guitar player. He's like, hey, this label from Greece contacted us. They want to re-release all our stuff because we had demos that we never.
Oh, wow.
So they wanted to release all our demos, and they wanted to fly us over to play the Keep It True Festival.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we played there. Love that place.
Excellent, right?
Yeah, man. The crowds are great. They love their metal over there.
They're like true metal fans, man.
No joke. Man.
So like the drummer hadn't played in 20 years. We were trying to get him up to speed.
Wow.
We got him up to speed, and we actually did the show, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, it was great to see the guys again and jam with the guys again. And yeah, Heathen's Rage. We had a 3-song EP out in the 80s, but now they're this one label, I forget their name, from Greece. They re-released all our demos, so it's all out there. Yeah,
that's
I
great,
see
man.
here. I'm on a website called Rocks Records because I know I've heard the name Heathen's Rage, and Nights at Switlick is available on CD on their website.
Switlick. That's probably a recorded live show. I'm not sure if I'm even in the band at that point.
Oh, wow. So you're not making any money, are you, on that show?
Yeah, it says it's a live album. Looking see if it gives me a year on here. I'm not seeing a year.
I think I did that show. I think I did. It's going back.
And Steve Adams asks, is there a future for Effector? Another one I've never heard of.
Effector, yes. I've done so many projects. Now, Effector was a Christian metal record.
Oh, wow.
By the guitar player was a guy by the name of Daniel Fries, and German guy. And it was kind of like in the vein of Dream Theater.
Oh, wow.
Now, the first record came out, it must have been about 10 years ago, but he has contacted me recently, Daniel, and he wants to do another one.
Wow, that's great.
So my answer is, as far as I know, there is definitely a future for another Effector record. And we're even talking about festivals at some point. So, I would love to do that.
Yeah, I'd love to hear some of that, man. I would love to hear
stuff.
That. Hey, let's talk about Symphony X for a minute. It seems like all the artwork, all the album covers are so badass and all over the place. Do they have meanings, or you just got an artist to say, here's another cool one, or this one means this, or you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of just so much in them. It's hard to say that's what this means, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think, it maybe has a little bit of meaning. Usually when we want to do artwork, Michael Romeo has some ideas, or maybe Russell Allen has some ideas.
Yeah.
That they pitch to our art guy, and he comes up with these cool things. But nothing like super deep, I don't think.
Right.
But yeah, I love our covers, man. I think they came out really well.
Yeah, they're just nobody really knows what they mean, but they're really cool, man. That's really cool. And so you were saying Russell at your rehearsal, he came up to you and pretty much was loving it. And back to your first show, is he just loving it, just looking at you like, dude, you're killing it? Or is he saying, dude, you're killing me, you're killing me?
Yeah, that's a great picture. That's a great picture. And
what was going on right there?
Well, yeah, that looks like definitely an old picture by the looks of the bass. And Russell does that to me a lot, he's
really like you're his child or something. Like, my son.
He's taller than every one of us by 20 feet. So he can do that to either one.
Yeah, I know. I look at some of the videos and I'm like, the dude's a giant, man.
Yeah, him and I interact really well. We always did on stage. So
yeah,
sometimes he just comes over and you don't know what he's going to do, but that's part of the fun,
Yeah. Here's you can see he.
From the line, journey into the moment, delivered from thought and
Now I know placement on stage plays a lot with that, but you can still see he towers over you.
Oh yeah. Well, see at that show, he dressed up like a tourist.
I see
So
that
we
with
were-
the hat, the Florida shirt.
So I remember from his outfit, I know that was in Italy at a festival.
Oh wow.
So that was I'm not sure. That was probably maybe Gods of Metal, maybe I'm thinking.
Mhm.
But that's probably going back to the early 2000s, maybe the mid 2000s, 2005,
Okay.
4. Yeah, I mean that's part of the fun too. I mean, the guys dress all up in black, but you never know what Russell's going to dress up like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, here's he's got that look like, yeah, I'm the man.
Right. And yeah, so that's
And he
that's,
is.
Yeah, there he's got a look where he's in
Yeah.
command of the audience. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
like, I'm here to take over the show.
Bro,
And-
his work with TSO, man.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen with TSO. I've seen a couple tours with him when I was still living in New Jersey, and
Mhm.
he's perfect because he's like the ultimate showman. So he's great for TSO, and his voice spot on. Always.
Yeah, man. Speaking of spot on, before you go on stage, do you have a routine you do, a warm up thing, or you just play so much you don't really need to warm up, or you stand on your head and anything like that? Any funny?
In the early days, I used to warm up. Now in my older age, I'm just like, I'll just go on.
Yeah. Especially if you're a touring band. I was talking with Todd. I use him a lot, like I say, but I was asking him. I said, Todd, do you warm up? Do you keep your voice warm? You do scales? He's like, dude, we're playing so much, I don't need to. And that's great. If you're playing all the time, the songs, everything, and your fingers for you don't lock up on you. Mad respect, man.
Yeah, Russell does a very, very short. He just like checks his voice before he goes on. He'll do a few high screams or yells just to make sure he's got his voice there, and then he's good to go. There's no like running scales or anything.
Right. Do you when you guys are getting ready to do a live show, who decides or what decides what's going to be the first song or the encore? Which I know you guys play a lot of the same encore because people love the Odyssey, man.
Yeah,
the Odyssey was my introduction to you guys, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that album. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what we do is we'll start practicing a week or two before a tour, and we'll practice every day, and we'll start putting a set list together. And then by the time we're done rehearsing, we have what the set list is going to be. And sometimes we'll throw a change in there if something's not working. But we kind of know what we're going to do before we leave. So we all kind of get together on that. And then
Right.
and that goes for the encore too. The problem is every time we come out for the encore, like Dave,
The
like
crowd.
you were saying, the crowd is screaming Odyssey, Odyssey, Odyssey. So many times we'll play the Odyssey. Sometimes we're just like, you know what? We know you like the Odyssey. We're just going to give you something else.
Yeah. We're going to sing Paradise Lost.
Right. Yeah. And that's
Serpent's Kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
So we
Serpent's Kiss. I love that song.
Oh, dude, yes.
Ah,
Yes.
your
It's got
bass
a-
riffs on that song, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
It's got a cool groove, and it's one of those songs the audience always likes, and it's just they bob their head to it, and it's a great live song.
Yeah. Do you like you guys do meet and greets? You ever have like an interaction with one person that really just stuck out to you, where somebody came up to you and just blew your mind what they said or anything like that? Or
All the hot chicks, right?
Well,
no?
that goes without saying. It's amazing how some people, they look at you and they talk to you, and you could tell the music has changed their life. And
Yeah.
that's a heavy thing to think about, how you're working on songs at Michael Romeo's house or something, and you're not thinking about that, but what you've put on record has changed people's lives. I remember one story where we met an Israeli fan when we were over there, and he was in their military, and he used to listen to our music to get him through things when he was, I guess, in a combat situation or something like that. And I mean, that stuff is what I mean. All I can say is, wow. I mean, that's such a blessing,
It is.
And
It is.
that's
I have a similar story with us with Sacred Warrior. We had a band that did a small tour with us around the Texas area, and the drummer got out and he went in the Air Force, and he was a fighter pilot, and he literally hit me up on Facebook one day, and he said, "Ray," he goes, "I'm getting ready to go into combat right now. I'm in my jet. I'm flying into combat right now, and I'm playing one of your songs, and I'm playing it for me and my two other guys in the two planes. They're all listening to Sacred Warrior going into battle right now." It's just like, it's the word I think you're looking for. It's a heavy burden.
oh,
It's like,
absolutely.
wow, dude, think about that. They're going into battle, may lose their lives, and they're listening to your music. Some you, like you said, you sat at Mike's house, Mike, Romeo, and you're working on a song or something. Saying with us, it's crazy, man. The effects you have on people.
You never know how your music affects people, and
Yeah.
it's something you can't even put into words.
No.
You're just lucky that you have a chance to be a part of some of these people's lives. I mean, like I said, it's a blessing from God.
It is, man. It is. It's mind blowing that I had Chris Jericho. You know who Chris Jericho, the wrestler?
Yeah.
He's a big fan of my band. He goes, "Ray, I want you to know something." He goes, "You have no idea the amount of people that Sacred Warrior has reached in government, pro wrestlers, musicians, and alike." He goes, "You guys are so big, but you don't even know. We don't know it. You know what I'm saying? The people
Right.
you've reached, other than people come to your shows and they say, 'Hey, you touched my life,' or this or that," and that's when you hear it. But I'm never going to hear from big wrestlers and people in government, and you know what I'm saying? It's like mind blowing, man.
Absolutely incredible. It's amazing. Yeah, the feeling is it's overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
I have this is a personal question for you. You don't have to answer it if you don't want, but just with talking to you, you seem like such a gentle spirited guy. Do you have a relationship with the Lord or not?
Yes, I do. I am a Christian, and I
That's awesome.
try to be the best Christian I could be, and
Yeah.
it's always a struggle, and
Yeah.
sometimes rock and roll and touring could bring on some temptations that most people don't experience.
Yeah, and they never will. Yeah.
And so it's hard, but I thank Jesus that I'm here and focused on what's good.
Yeah.
And I hear that you are as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
man.
am I. Yep.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's neat, man, because there's a lot of I heard that I think Nico McBrain got saved,
Mm-hmm.
and Alice Cooper
He's
years ago, and I'm this close to having him on my podcast. I'm just waiting on a date to have him locked. He He showed up at my church like 4 weeks ago.
Alice Cooper?
Alice Cooper. Yeah, I get to church. I run sound at my church. I don't sing at church. I do enough singing outside of that, right? And
Are you
I
able to
get
pull
there,
the picture up real quick, Ray? I mean, do you have it?
I have the one but it's with
We're not
Letha.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy. We're not.
Yeah, but that was it.
We're not worthy.
But I do have that somewhere. But yeah,
We're not worthy. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. We're scum. We suck.
I love that. We're scum. We suck.
but yeah, he
He's
just
got
showed
some
up.
amazing videos. Like Alice
Oh,
Cooper, when he talks about his faith, mind
Yeah,
blowing.
man. Yeah. You
Incredible.
know, he's got in I believe it's Arizona. He's got some kind of youth camp, a youth ministry where they help out youth and stuff.
I've been there. That's my wife and I used to go to that church.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Alice Cooper's Teen Center.
Yeah,
Or no,
Teen Center.
Alice Cooper Solid Rock is what it's called.
That's
yeah.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
Have you
And it's
ever
just-
met him, Dave?
No, I wish. Well, here's a funny story. I could have one time. My wife and I, it was around Christmas time. I forget what year it was, but it was this outdoor mall, strip mall type thing. And we're walking around and my wife and I were just holding hands. And I look over and dude, not even 2 feet from me, Alice Cooper walks by with his wife. He had his hair tucked up under a hat, right? And I stopped dead in my tracks. And my wife was like, what's wrong? I said, that's Alice Cooper. She goes, no, it isn't. I'm like, trust me, I know what the man looks like. That's Alice Cooper. She's like, leave him alone. Just leave him alone. Don't bother him. I'm like, you suck.
Man.
But yeah, walked right
Oh.
past me. Recognized him clear as day, even though his hair was up under a hat. Yeah.
Of course. I mean, he's Alice Cooper. I mean,
He lives
Yeah.
in Phoenix. He lives in
Right.
Phoenix. So
Right.
yeah.
And he just, when I talked to him at church, just the coolest guy. The coolest guy.
oh,
So
man.
the thing we have in common is we're friends with Sharon and Dana Aguilar. Sharon was CeeLo Green's guitar player, and her husband Dana just wrote a children's record with Alice, and they were nominated for an award on that. And they have this place right here in town in Ormond, and we go there, and it's a 31 Supper Club or something like that. It's a restaurant, and I was talking with them and like, yeah, let's get a podcast with us and Alice, and then he shows up at my church. I was like, wow, man, it was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
That's wow. If you could get him, man, that would be massive.
Oh
yeah. Well, I've been talking to his guy. He said that anything with him usually takes I think he said 4 or 5 weeks or something like that. So I'm just waiting. You know, I'm in communications with him. But Dean Vinson says, I think I found a video of you playing with Headbangers Rage in 2015 at a club in Greece on YouTube.
Yes. The 2 days after we played that German festival,
Yeah.
Keep It True, they brought us over to Greece, and we played a little club over there. And what can I say, man? It was so much fun. But it was a good time. We got to play all the old songs, got to see the Parthenon, and you know.
That's awesome, man.
So yeah, excellent stuff.
That is awesome, man. Dave, what's your dog doing over there, man? Dave doesn't have dogs, he has horses.
Yeah, I got Great Danes, man. They're giants.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's
This is a smaller one. The bigger one, he's out in the other room. I swear, first time I saw that dog, my jaw hit the floor. I'm like, oh my God, he is huge.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome, Dean.
The small one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
This guy weighs 120 pounds, bro. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Like
his
I said,
brother,
it's a horse.
the bigger one weighs 160.
You walk these dogs?
I would, except for the bigger one is very aggressive toward other dogs. And being as big as he is, if he wanted to take off away from me, I'd have to let go because I would get hurt.
Drag you down the road.
Yeah, he would. He'd drag me down the street, man. Yeah.
Oh man. So,
Yeah.
Mike, what's in the hopper nowadays for you? I know you got Symphony X. You still doing anything with any of your other bands or anything, or just focusing on Symphony X?
Right. Well, Symphony X, we're still in the writing stage. We're getting really close to finishing our writing for the next
Right.
record. So getting excited about that. I mean, the last one came out in 2015, so it's been a while.
Can you give us a sneak peek into the title of the album or a song or two? Or
Yeah,
anything?
we haven't even talked about the title yet.
Oh, wow.
So we're just working on the parts. But besides Symphony X, I did a record for this German power metal band that the album should be coming out probably within a month or so.
Wow.
The band is called Mentalist.
Nice.
And Mentalist, they kind of sound like Halloween meets Iron Maiden.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Cool music. This is the third record that I've done for them, and that should be coming out within about a month. And as far as recording, we were talking about about my friend Rod Rivera when we first started talking. I've got a band with him called Dead Risen, and that's in the mixing stages right now. So those two right now are the latest things that I was working on.
That's good, man. That's good. We need to get you on a Sacred Warrior album.
Love to do it, man. Love to do
You see I'm wearing my Maiden shirt. Our bass player, I want to tell you a real funny story. When we were in a band called Nomad. We broke up because we all got saved through a series of events, right? We started going to this church, and the pastor says, "Hey, there's this band's coming to church, and they need an opener. You guys want to put something together?" And we're like, "Sure, man. Who is it?" And he said, "A band called White Cross." And we're like, "Okay, cool." So we got together. We needed a bass player, and we're like, "Lord," we're in church praying. We're like, "Lord, we need a bass player." In walks Steve, who's our bass player now. He looks like Steve Harris. Could be but he's a guitar player, man. We're like, all right. So he said, "Hey, I'll come to your practice." So he comes to our rehearsal, and he wasn't a real good guitar player. I mean, he was okay, And he leaves, and we're like, "Man, that's cool, but we really need a bass player, So he leaves, and then he comes back like the following week. He's like, "Yeah, I talked my wife into letting me sell all my gear. I'll play bass for you guys." Okay, so we let him play. He did a few songs with us, and me, I'm a visionary. I'm like, I could see this guy learning our stuff and really doing good. And he leaves, and my drummer and my guitar player are like, "Yeah, nah, he's not a good bass player either." I'm like, God, were you listening to the same thing? I thought the guy was great, So long story short, we gave him the chance, joined the band, and he's great. The guy's just been a great addition to the band. Yeah. But it's funny. It's funny. Even his wife, when he asked her if he can go from guitar to bass, because initially he played bass, then went to guitar, and he told his wife, he said, "Hey, I'm going to sell everything, go back to bass." And his wife goes, "Good, because you're a bass player than you are a guitar player."
Well, if he looks like Steve Harris, he's got to play the bass.
He does, bro. Yeah. Except now he looks like Steve Harris, a combination between hey, there's Rod right there. Yo, Mike.
Yeah, there's Rod Rivera. We were just talking about you, brother.
And believe me, it was not good, bro. It was not good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, so I don't even System of a Down.
Yes.
So he looks like the singer from System of a Down now.
Oh,
Our bass player. He don't look like Steve Harris anymore. So,
okay. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
Well, as long as he plays like him, so that's all right.
Dude, he does. It's funny. He uses a pick. Is it wrong? My podcast is called "Is It Wrong?" But there's nothing wrong with using a pick if you can do it and do it good. What's your take on that?
I love pick players, man. Dave Ellefson, awesome pick player.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, listen, there's some things when you're playing stuff that's really fast, and you do it with your fingers,
Yeah,
it's going to be much more accurate if you do it with a pick. Like if
absolutely.
you're doing sixteenths, or
Yeah,
it's going to be much more dead on. So
yeah,
I think for technical stuff, I think a pick should be used. But if you're doing some Sabbath kind of stuff, then just dig in with your fingers, man, and just groove on that. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
That's one of those. I nailed it.
Right. That's awesome.
I love that. what, what, what was that picture from right there?
Yeah, that's from Stella.
And you're wearing a Kiss shirt too. I just noticed that. Did you know that you're wearing a Kiss shirt right there?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Look at that.
yeah, that's the first album, man. What am I wearing?
Wow.
Oh, this was an album I was on. Also, I'm looking at my shirt now.
I can't see it. Stand up a little bit.
Yeah, can you see it? Empires of Eden.
Empires of Eden. Yeah.
That's my buddy Stu Marshall from Australia, and I'm in a band with him called Death Dealer.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Peck is the singer.
Nice.
And this Empires of Eden was another thing he did. I played on. So
There you go.
I mean, yeah, I pop up on many, many different things that you probably would that you come across.
I'm gonna start looking you up, bro.
Oh yeah,
I knew about a couple of things, but I'm not gonna find you like on the most wanted list or anything like that, am I?
it's not so far. I'm too much of a wimp to break the law.
but most wanted, dude. I show up like at certain places, and they're like,
You go now. You be here for an hour. You go now.
"Yeah, what do you
You
say?"
go now. You here 4 hour. Why you here 4 hour?
Oh, that's phenomenal.
That guy was a classic, John Panette.
Oh,
He
he
was
was
jumping
funny.
there, man.
Yeah.
He was funny for
And
sure.
he was always self. What do you call that? Picking on himself. I think that's what made it so funny, man.
Yeah.
I remember watching one of him. He's like, "Yeah, Chinese food. You eat till you're stuffed, then you get, oh, I can't eat anymore." Then he's like, "Oh, look, they brought some egg rolls."
And that's true, man.
Bro, it really is, man. Oh man.
Absolutely. Man.
Where
Absolutely.
Rod goes? He's still there. Rod,
He's still hanging out. Yeah.
Rod.
No.
I should send him a link. You want to join? You want to jump on here, Rod? See what he says. He probably won't. Probably hiding in his living room or something.
Yeah, he introduced me to you, man. He did.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Rod's a good dude, man. That's my
Yeah.
buddy right there.
That'd be cool if you guys could actually meet in person and hang out sometime.
yeah, Rod's in Florida too.
Yeah. Yep. Correct. But he doesn't want to come by where I'm at. He doesn't like this area. Says there's too much water and gators.
Water and gators.
I live on a canal. But I haven't seen any gators back there yet.
Oh,
so-
okay. That's strange.
Don't say yet.
Hey, well,
if your dog comes up missing, then you'll know.
there's a saying. People ask you about water in Florida when you see water. Is there any gators in there? They're like, "Is that water?" Yeah. Then there's gators in there.
Yeah.
Gators are everywhere.
When I first moved to Florida,
Yeah.
I'm coming from like New Jersey. What do I know? So I asked the realtor, I was like, where are the alligators? He goes, if you see water anywhere, do not go near it. He goes, there may be gators. So I was like, oh, okay. Noted.
Yeah, man. Hey, Dean wants to know what's your favorite bass.
Well, I've had an endorsement with a company called Comparison, and they're made in Japan, and the office is in the UK, and it's a really nice sounding bass, handmade. So that's all I've been playing like for many years. But
Nice.
there's there's a lot of great basses out there that I would like to try.
Yeah.
Spectre, I'd like to try. Now I just recently got a Fender. I haven't set that up yet, but I want to start playing that too.
I'll tell you what, them old Fenders got a nasty tune to them, don't they?
They got they got a growl.
Yeah, man. Rod said he's driving, by the way.
Oh, okay, he's probably teaching. Yeah.
But
Yeah, so that's cool, man.
yeah. Hey, anything weird about you that nobody's ever asked you that the fans don't know that you're willing to share on this podcast? Nobody will know. You can share anything you want with me and Dave. Nobody will know. I promise.
Yeah. We won't tell anybody.
No, we won't. Dave, put your pinky up. We're not pinky promise. We won't tell anyone.
I swear.
Okay, there you go. Go ahead.
I've done so many interviews over the years that everyone knows everything there is possibly to know about me, I think. You know, unless there was something specific you guys wanted to know or one of your listeners wanted to know. But I think everything's out there.
How about this? What do you like to do when you're not touring, recording, rehearsing?
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Man, you pop that on. I'm asking a question here. Come on.
That was supposed to be part of that question. Sorry.
That's great.
Do you like Taco Bell?
You know what? I'm not a Taco Bell guy.
Good.
It's not real Mexican food. For everybody out there who didn't know, that's not real Mexican food.
Wait a minute. Yes, it is. In Florida, it is. Anyways.
But
no, go back. Go back to your question, Dave. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. When you're not rehearsing, touring, recording, all that good stuff,
sure.
what are your hobbies? What kind of stuff do you like to do in your spare time?
Well, my favorite thing is, I love to hang out with my dogs. That's my favorite thing. You
have kids?
I do not have kids.
Oh, okay.
Are you married?
For a few more weeks.
Oh. Okay. We won't. Hey, he'll be done with.
No.
Hey, Dave, he'll be done with that, and then all of a sudden it's.
Shut your trap.
Yeah, Ray and I will come over. We'll throw you a party, dude.
So
we'll invite that guy.
So there's something no one knew until now.
Yeah.
I've never heard that
folks,
answer.
You heard it here
before.
first.
Yeah, absolutely. But I like horror movies. It's fun to watch horror movies. Let's see, what else do I like to do? I like to watch a lot of TV, I guess, really. I'm into anything with like history or mythology. I like all that stuff.
Ghostbusters and all that kind of stuff. You like that?
Yeah. All that stuff.
Paranormal thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So knowing your upcoming situation, I got to ask you, all those Mickey Mouse ear backpacks behind you, are those yours? And if so, why?
They are not.
Okay, good.
They are not. So probably the next time we do an interview, there will be a different background.
There you go.
If you get my point.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
Mike gets the house. Mike gets the house.
Yeah, but
Marcia said, thanks everyone, MLP. See you soon. Marcia, thanks for hanging with us.
Oh,
not hanging us, hanging with. How do you say her name?
Marcia Adams.
Marcia Adams. Thanks for hanging with us.
She's a really dear friend. I've known her for many, many years. She's a big Symphony X fan.
Nice.
And anytime we go out to Arizona and play, she's always so gracious, and we go out and eat, and it's really nice.
Marcia, if you liked the episode, please join, subscribe to Is It Wrong podcast. we do a lot of interviews like this with a lot of cool people, and we have lots of fun. Thanks for joining us, Marsha.
Right on. Absolutely.
That's cool, man. Yeah, she's one of the ones that commented on your Facebook saying, "Hey, I'll be there."
Yeah. And let me see. I'm trying to think what else I like to do in my spare time. I do like to go see bands. I like to, I do like to see concerts from time to time. I like to see local bands from time to time.
Who's your favorite band?
It's always changing. I mean, I guess as a sentimental favorite, I have to say Kiss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are they the best band? No, but
No. No, I'm a huge Kiss fan too, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
I remember,
if you're gonna come at me with really my favorite metal band, I'm gonna have to say Black Sabbath.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. What about you guys?
Ooh.
For me, it's it's Metallica.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's Sacred Warrior.
Yeah, come on, somebody.
And the third is Saint and then Deliverance. Those are my top 4.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So for me, I think I've wore out your guys' records. Dude, I'm telling you, I sing Symphony X all the time. So you guys, Dream Theater, Queensryche.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. And
That's
for me, man, it's just because me being a vocalist, when I'm listening to someone like Russell, and then he did that Russell Allen project, I forgot the name of it, but I follow all his stuff because I just, like I said, being a vocalist, I'm attracted to that, the Dream Theater, the James LaBrie, and Queensryche, and just
it's inspiring.
If
Russell ever leaves, you got to hit up Ray.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever.
Is it wrong?
Is it wrong for Ray to sing with Symphony X? Yeah, probably. I could never fit in his shoes, man. But yeah, bro. Hey,
Right on, man. That's
bro,
awesome.
Yeah, man. But yeah.
I mean,
what were we gonna say?
No. Go ahead, please.
No.
Dean had a question here. Are there any bands that you would love to feature with at some point?
Meaning,
play with or record with?
Record with or play with?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I would love to play with Richie Blackmore.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, besides the Deep Purple and the Rainbow stuff, I really like what he did with Blackmore's Night, and I really like the medieval feel, and it got me into listening to that kind of music, medieval folk music. So I would really like to work with Richie.
Oh yeah, that would be incredible.
That would be
incredible.
Yeah.
Have you ever talked to him? Do you know him? Anything like that?
No, I never had the pleasure of meeting Richie. I met Ronnie James Dio. I don't know if you guys ever met him.
I have.
No, dude, I wish. I've been compared to him, actually.
Yeah,
you look like his twin, Dave.
No, vocally, bro. Come on. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
No, hey, on a serious note, Mike, you need to hear Dave sing.
I want to
sing too.
I'll send you something that I have a project called Silence the Burden, and we have a new song that we're working on. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty heavy stuff.
I'd love to hear it, man. I would love it.
Right on, man. Appreciate that.
Sure.
Yeah.
But anything you want to say to the fans, Mike, just who've been watching and hanging with us, and just anything to finish up, man?
Basically, this was a fantastic podcast. I felt so comfortable with you guys. I'd love to keep in touch with you guys. You guys are
sent you a friend request, Mike, on Facebook.
Fantastic. To your listeners, maybe some of them Hopefully most of them know me. Maybe some of them don't. I want to thank you for all your support. I've been in Symphony X since 1999 now. And you guys have been just so wonderful to us over the years that I just want to say thank you. And, on behalf of the band, we love you. We appreciate you. And we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, man. Right on. Right on.
Awesome.
Hey, and also Wade Helm, you were just on with him the other night. Good buddy of mine. You did our podcast
Yeah.
with him. Love
Yeah,
that
he's
guy,
a good
man.
dude. Oh, I
He-
love him too, man.
Yeah. he
Nice
really is,
guy.
man.
Had a great time with him. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But listen, Mike, hang in there with me for a minute. After we log off, we'll talk for a second. But hey,
Sure.
everybody who hung out with Dave and I say thank you, man. Love you guys. Thanks for all the support you always show. Newcomers, feel free to subscribe, and we're going to try to keep bringing you great artists with great testimonies and just great stuff, man. Mike, it was a pleasure having you on, buddy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We'll hang out some more later, but just hang in there with me for just a minute. All right, Mike?
You got it.
Buddy. God bless.